Welcome to Salt Pig, where two cookbook writers chat about the ups and downs of actual home kitchen life. What are we talking about this week, Ellie?
We're talking about food storage and all the ways that we're obsessed with it, basically. Especially as adults, I feel like my food storage needs have really changed and maybe been a little upgraded. Mm-hmm. And we talk about some of our favorite single-use items, some of our favorite upcycled jars. We have some favorites that we're not really willing to get rid of. Yeah, it's a fun one.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be our longest episode ever, and maybe the first of many devoted to this topic because we really have a lot to say about food storage, it turns out.
We do.
You can find new and old episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on Substack too at saltpig.substack.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter. All right, let's get started. So I don't know if people who may have listened to our last episode noticed that both Ellie and I were a little bit congested and we are dealing with some seasonal allergies. And
you didn't edit all of that out.
I couldn't. I tried to. There were a lot of sniffles that were edited out. I hope I caught most of them. But I wanted to ask you if you had, because in our hot drinks episode, it came to light. We're willing to go kind of deep with these kind of fun hot
home
teas
remedies
and tinctures and infusions and home remedies. And I wanted to know if you had any like allergy treatment hot drinks, and you said you didn't.
I did not.
But what came to mind was something somebody told me years ago. I've now learned is like a pretty popular kind of like remedy treatment where you have like a spoonful of local honey every day during allergy season, and like maybe the pollen in the honey is like then in your body and helps to counteract the pollen in the air. I started doing it like that day after we recorded the last episode, and I swear to God, there's still a little bit of allergy stuff happening, but it's like by and large been pretty managed.
Amazing. And is this like New York City honey? This is like...
Yeah, so we had our friends...
like a rooftop.
Well, it's actually kind of a... Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's not New York City honey. Our friends Tiffany and Kwan came over for dinner, and Tiffany's family, she grew up out in New Jersey on a farm, and she brought us a jar of her family's like raw local honey. And so it was just kind of a fluke that I happened to have this because, I mean, I love to buy honey at the farmer's market, but I don't do it that often. So normally it wouldn't have been in my cupboard. And then it was there, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. And
Wow.
It was great.
It
worked. I looked it up right before we started recording, and there is not a lot of scientific data to back up this. And a lot of people call it a total myth, but I want to say,
but it worked.
For my allergy stuff, it kind of helped.
Yeah. Are you like stirring it into like a tea or just like?
No, I'm just like licking it off a spoon.
Really? Do you think that's part of it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is it like a throat coat kind of vibe?
Oh, maybe that. I mean, I remember one of the first cookbooks I ever got was called The Whole Food Dictionary or The Whole Food. It was not like a big book. It was a pretty small one. It was all about these types of natural remedies and treatments and things. And one of them was for a sore throat, you gargle honey.
Whoa.
Everybody knows about this, no?
Gargling honey?
I think you just like...
Sounds sort of like a choking hazard.
Well, I think you consume honey and then I guess you don't gargle it. You would just like let it sort of
coat your throat.
Coat your throat, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, that does sound like it's sort of getting to the root of the problem, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I just didn't want, do you ever take like Zyrtec or Claritin and stuff?
Oh my God, I take it literally every day of my life for the last like 15 years.
Really?
Yes.
Every day?
Every day. And I'm sure it's probably messed up some chemical balance in my body, but if I don't take it, like my head starts to itch. Like I really feel it after like 2 days. I'm like, I gotta get a Zyrtec. So I'm totally dependent on them. Yes.
These are allergies.
It's allergies. Well, I have really terrible cat and dog allergies.
Okay.
Which we no longer have a dog. We had a hypoallergenic dog, which I was still kind of allergic to, Rebel, who unfortunately died last year. But we don't even have any cats or dogs, and so it was residual from like the time in my life when I was exposed to more cats and dogs. Both of my parents used to have dogs. I don't know. Now nobody has dogs anymore, and I'm still taking Zyrtec because if I stop, then my head starts to itch.
You really notice it, even without the presence of...
I really
oh,
notice
my
it.
God.
I know. So
that's wild.
The only problem with that, it does seem to sort of keep things at bay, but the only problem with that is then if I'm having like an actual allergy, like a seasonal allergy thing, or I am going to someone's house with like a dog, say, I don't really have any ammunition. Like I could take like a Benadryl. You need like
prescription stuff or something stronger.
Yeah. Huh. I have been told that that nose spray is very effective, but...
Oh, yeah. I was looking that up, the Flonase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used that.
So I think you can get really addicted to it, and I think it kind of destroys your nose.
Yeah, that's what I read when I was researching this stuff. I just find I'll take Claritin every now and then, and I usually get seasonal allergies, but I just hate the way it like dries.
Oh.
It like kind of takes, and for me, it's just like anyway, I don't like the way it makes me feel.
I mean, that's the funny I mean, this is true about me for all things, but I sort of don't notice what it's doing to my body. So I wonder if, other than my head, if I'd stop taking Zyrtec, if I'd be like a whole new person. Maybe.
Oh, gosh. I mean, if there are doctors listening.
Yeah, chime in.
And they want to sound the alarm.
I know. My friend Whitney is an allergist, and she recently was like, oh, I can't remember what we were talking about allergies, but she was like, you could switch from Zyrtec to like Allegra. Like Allegra might be much better. So I tried it, and it did seem to be better for some reason, but I was like, I had stocked up on so much Zyrtec that I was just, I literally have like 2 years worth of Zyrtec. I was like, in 2 years, I will be switching, but for now, I'm just sticking with it.
Do you ever look at expiration dates on medicine?
Sometimes.
My stepmom Pam came over one time and she was like, do you have a Benadryl? And then I just like gave her our Ziploc bags of all the medicine that we've
like
accumulated over the past like 10 years. And she was like, I'm just going to do you a favor and throw most of this away because this is all like 5, 6, 8, 9 years old.
That's so funny.
So, anyway.
I thought it was literally like a bag of pills, but at least there were like boxes in there.
Oh, no, it was all crammed into the box. Yeah. That's a total tangent. Today we're actually talking about food storage, right? Is this how we're going to... Yeah,
we could Ziploc bag. That could be our transition.
Yeah, there we go.
Speaking of Ziploc bags, we're talking about food storage in all ways. And I was like, I did sort of take a little tour of my kitchen before we recorded this, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of storage going on in my kitchen, and it's kind of changed in the last, I don't know, 10 or 15 years.
How so?
Well, like I feel like in my youth, I was like a Ziploc bag, more of a Ziploc bag person. Just had like, random plastic Tupperware that, was impossible to find the lid and all this stuff. And now as a fully grown adult, I feel like I have more glass, definitely.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And just more systems. And I have to say, like having more systems in the kitchen is wonderful.
Critical.
I love
to
it.
Success.
I love it. Like I bought these, just to dive in, glass, like one of those sets of glass containers. And
like from Costco or something. And yeah, they're like maybe Pyrex brand, something along those lines. And they come in like all these different sizes. And one of the sizes that I really love is the like low, flat, rectangular size. And one thing that like nothing makes me feel more like an adult than like if I buy like a giant pack of salami at Costco or something, and it's like in one of those terrible, like really thick plastic things, and you have to like reach into the plastic to get like salami in your hand. Yeah.
It gets all greasy. It's like, it's gross.
It's supposedly they're resealable, but they never
really Exactly. What really makes me feel like an adult is to take those like little rows of salami and then put them in this flat glass thing and stack them in my fridge, and I'm like, gosh, it's like I'm in a garden or something. I'm just like,
yeah, you need to be featured in a magazine.
Yeah, I'm like, you want a sandwich? Let me pull out my glass container of salami, because I don't always do that, but when I do, I'm like, man, should I be doing this all the time?
Oh, that's so nice. Those sets, I've been meaning to get, because I feel like every couple years I just need to do a refresh and start over with the food at least for like Tupperware that is packing up leftovers, or for like the day-to-day food storage, not necessarily like dry storage in the pantry or things like that, but because like I don't know where the lids go. you come to realize that there are certain sizes that are just useless to you,
Yes.
and they take up very valuable real estate.
They won't stack because they're like...
They don't stack.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have like lids that are just a little bit of a different size.
I know.
And so I feel like it's a problem that will probably in my lifetime never be satisfactorily solved.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly thinking that there's going to be a better solution. And the glass stuff too, I just want it all to be glass now. I don't want any of the plastic stuff.
That's sort of what I do, except, so like glass is what I use for all my leftovers, for all my salami stacking needs. Like all that stuff is glass, and that like lives in a drawer in my kitchen, and I use it constantly. It's probably the most constant thing that I use in my kitchen. And the real benefit of that glass stuff is I feel like it makes leftovers actually appealing and like leftover food appealing. Whereas when you put it in like a plastic Tupperware, I feel like it just feels kind of yucky.
Yeah.
It just doesn't,
I've never thought about that. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So in glass, I'm like, oh, this is a delightful piece of leftover chicken. In a Tupperware, I'm like, yuck, you know?
And for reheating, it's nice with those glass ones. You can just like throw the thing right back,
It's
right into the oven.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Right into the microwave, right into the, it's great in that way. It's so great. But then I feel like I can't totally get rid of my like plastic Tupperware. So I used to just have like a little shopping bag that I stuffed into this closet near the kitchen that was like my like plastic stuff where like if I'm putting like broth in the freezer, I'm not going to use one of those glass things. I'm going to use like a Chinese food container. Or if I'm made pesto and I'm putting in the freezer, or I am sending some leftovers home with someone, I'm going to give them like one of these plastic things that I don't really necessarily need back. But that I really need to go through, because if you go through some sort of freezer, you're using all the stuff in your freezer, then suddenly the bag overflows and then I can't stuff it in the closet anymore, which is where I am right now.
Oh.
So I need to go through that and toss some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I said that I want things to be all glass, but that's definitely not the reality of my Tupperware storage right now. Just because I give a lot of food away, I feel like there's a lot of transport of food happening in my life that I always have those quart deli containers, and I find them to be so handy.
They're
and
so
I know
handy.
that. And I know that they're like, there's like a worry of microplastics, and like they do kind of take on odors, and they start to look a little weird after a little while. And I'm probably not as diligent as I should be about just getting rid of them when I'm done. Yeah. But I do find the size to be so handy for so much type of stuff, so many different types of foods.
Agreed.
And especially, I feel like I got obsessed with them when I worked in restaurants because they are the default, that and Cambros, those like square hard plastic food storage containers. They're just like the default storage for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And those takeout ones, I mean, they stack well. All the lids are the same. Like if you're in a little one or a big one, this lid's the same. It seems much, you can write right on them. Those are my favorites. And they're great for liquid, which I feel like is often the thing that I'm like putting in the freezer for some reason, like broth or
soup.
Yeah,
broth,
soup,
like
exactly.
Saucy things.
Exactly. I'm not necessarily putting like a meal in there.
And I do the same thing where I like empty the open bag of frozen blueberries or frozen peas or whatever and stick them in one of those quart containers and throw it back in the freezer.
Oh, that
Actually,
sounds
my freezer
so
is
civilized.
It is really nice because then you just kind of like tip them into the blender or into, I don't know, it's like a...
Oh, I might try that.
The only thing is that the round containers, they don't fit from like an organizational perspective, you really... this is something that must be very difficult to solve from if you're making, like designing food storage, but like there's so many round containers out there, and round is so frustrating in a square or rectangular shaped cupboard or freezer. There's so much wasted space around it. Like I would really love just cubes.
I hear you. This is a business idea, Lucas. Cubes.
This is, I wonder why cubes. Like food cubes.
Yeah.
That does exist. Like the freezer cubes, you know what I'm talking about, where you like, this company makes these like silicone molds of like bricks or like big blocks, and you like, it's like a soup cube.
Oh, yes, so I do know those.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
Not describing it right.
Yeah, there goes the business. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's not the same thing though. It's like, it's the, when I had my veggie burger business, which I know I bring that up all the time, but I found for the original package that we designed, it was some kind of a Nordic company that made them. They weren't perfectly rectangular, but they were sort of a rectangular shape, and you could fit like a pound of the mixture in there. So it was like around pint size, and then a plastic lid. And the fact that you could, it was like a rectangular shape, meant that I held on to those things for so long because I loved them so much. You could just stack 6 of them in a cupboard and then just like push it all the way into the back corner. And it was so satisfying too, because it's plastic, you can see through it, you can turn it either the wide side out or the narrow side. I don't know. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
That would be a great thing to manufacture and sell.
It would be. Yeah, because I have, why is that so hard? I guess they're harder to clean. I guess that would be a negative.
Is that?
Like the edges? You could round the edges pretty easily.
I wonder if making a lid for a tight corner is hard to seal or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
Whereas like a rounded, even if it's just rounded, not a perfect circle, if that like makes an airtight seal easier to and easier to achieve.
Yeah. Like a physics problem, which does remind me of one thing I definitely wanted to bring up. My absolute favorite upcycled plastic container is a Talenti gelato container.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have
People
any of
love
these?
those. I don't have any of them, but I see them in all my friends' houses.
It's almost worth just buying the gelato and like eating the gelato, which is okay. But the containers are top notch, because the lid screws on.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the only containers I can convince Tom to take like leftovers to work in, because it won't spill in his bag. Like for sure will not spill in his bag.
Tom and Vincent must be similar. He'd never trust me. I'm like,
no,
Vincent, don't worry about it. It's fine. He's like, I'm going to put this in an extra bag and then I'm going to like saran wrap it so that it doesn't bust open inside my bag. Oh, I'm always over-promising on the airtight seal.
You push
on my
like
Tupperware.
lunch and breakfast on him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too. It's like literally like the last words I say to Tom every day. I'm like, do you want some lunch? Like, there's half of an eaten turkey sandwich and some pasta like, I can put into a Tupperware. He's like, no, thanks.
I know. It's like, it sounds delicious, but I think we've got a lunch meeting
exactly,
today.
Exactly. There's a lot of mythical lunch meetings that I feel like our husbands are very, very busy with.
I wanted to ask, do you use Ziploc bags or resealable bags?
So I do use Ziploc bags, but I have to say we use them so rarely because I'm so opposed to them, but we reuse them pretty often. And so we have I wanted to bring up silicone bags as sort of a subtopic. I have bought some silicone. I've bought a few different silicone bags, and the ones that I have now, I do not love, and they don't work great. And they claim that they could go in the dishwasher, and then the ones that I've put in the dishwasher have shrunken, and then you could absolutely never seal them again.
Wait, are these the sort of thicker type of material or the more flimsy, similar to like a plastic Ziploc bag?
I'd say somewhere in between. They're not like these super thick ones that I feel like are on the market now that can like stand up by themselves. They're not those, but they're not totally flimsy. I hate washing them. I mean, who wants to wash that or a regular Ziploc bag? It's a total drag.
Anything that just refuses to ever dry, like
hanging it on a wooden spoon. I know. And then turning it. It also takes days. It's like you dry it on one side, then you reverse it, and then dry it on the other. I know, it's so gross. Everything's like all festering and I have to say, I do not trust anybody to clean a Ziploc bag except myself. And even with me, I'm like, this is not really getting clean.
I'm not a big fan of those either. We have a few of them that we'll primarily use them for like pantry storage when I have like, I don't know, some like dried chilies or something, and I could just cram them in there and throw them up in the cupboard. I don't use them for like day-to-day leftovers.
I think that's the best thing to do, and dry things.
And dry things,
I think that's right. We had like some leftover tortilla chips the other day. I was like, I was like, I've just put a rubber band around these, but the bag was all screwed up. And I was like, I'll put it in a silicone bag. And I was like, perfect. That's the perfect use for one of those. But once anything else goes in there, I mean, I use them for like fruit with the kids, like cut up fruit. It works okay. They don't really close necessarily, and then they get all sticky and gross. And you have to hand wash them.
I ran into a friend who has kids about your kid's age, and she was saying like, how exhausted she is from just cleaning all the reusable containers from the packed lunch. I was like, oh, that was not a problem when I was growing up because everything was in a disposable Ziploc bag, and you could just like take the lunchbox and like flip it over the trash can and like, here,
Just
this
be like
is ready
empty.
to be refilled.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I think everybody is trying to minimize all that, which is great.
Yeah.
But a lot of work for the parents.
Oh, I know. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my mom made my lunch every day, but I would just literally have it in a brown paper bag. Like the sort of refrigerated concept just didn't cross over into my childhood. It was just like, it will be fine 4 hours later.
Yeah. And it was.
And it was, yeah. And now I'm like, me too. I'm putting my kids at lunch like in with an ice pack and a, Tom puts ice in their water in their like bottles. And I'm like, this is a step too far. I'm like, of course it's great. And I want them to drink water and they need encouragement to drink water. But I'm like, I'm not running like a catering company here. Like, what the hell?
But the water is so much more delicious when it's ice cold.
It's so much more delicious. I mean, don't get me wrong. The parallel is so ridiculous that I'm thinking of. But there are these stupid things that you can buy when your kids are babies that are like, that warm the wipes that you use when you change their diaper.
Oh, really?
And it's like, I don't know how much they cost, however much they cost and whatever it was. I was like, I will not be doing this. I was like, once you get used to having a warm wipe, then where does it end? And I was
this is a bad precedent to set when they're like not only not even a few months old.
Exactly. But I guess I feel like ice in your water bottle is sort of similar. I'm like, yeah, we'd all like that. But can we focus on something more important? I don't know.
I mean, I think I side with Tom on that.
Oh, really?
One.
It's
Especially
just one extra step.
Sometimes you have to like.
It's such a puny extra step.
I just feel like my nieces don't drink a ton of water. I'm like, if having it be ice cold will make them drink it, I'm like,
no,
okay, that's
you're
easy.
Right. Maybe I should start.
But also,
that, especially
we
now that
have
it's hot out.
Yeah, and we have an ice machine in our refrigerator for the first time,
in
which
the door?
I have never. Not in the door. It's like
inside.
So
life
makes
changing.
its own ice. Totally life changing. Like it used to drive me nuts when I had to like shock vegetables in an ice bath because I'm like popping them out of the ice cube trays. I'm like, now my ice supply is fully depleted.
Oh yeah.
But now with ice machine in the freezer, I can just like scoop as much ice as I want. It's so fun.
It's
and
so fun.
Even like in the water bottle, I'm now putting ice in my own water bottle when I go out or when I travel or something because I'm like, why not? It's right there. It's just gonna
sitting
refill
there. Yeah,
while
totally.
I'm sleeping. So
I mean, yeah, an ice machine is the best. It's the best.
Back to Ziploc bags. So I've gone through a journey with the Ziploc bags. They're so handy. It's so nice to have them. They're so handy.
Yes.
But at some point, they're also very expensive.
Oh my
it's
God.
like $6-7 for 10 of them for like the gallon size
It's
ones.
insane.
Those are the ones that I need the most.
Yes.
Okay, and then so I had them and I buy them, but I'd be like, all right, these I have to reuse as many times as possible.
Yeah.
But then I think I saw something online where you're like, you really shouldn't be reusing them because that type of plastic is just leaching microplastics into the food. Sorry, I don't.
Like
maybe
if
that's
you
not
scrub
true.
It kind of thing. Like if
it just like degrades really quickly.
Yeah.
Like it's meant to be a single use sort of thing. I know. And so I read that, and like I'm not a super freak about microplastics, but that was compelling to me. And so I was like, all right, having these around, I do use them because they're there, and you're, when you're scrambling for some kind of storage solution and it's just sitting before you, like, I'm going to take one of these Ziploc bags. So I started just not buying them and not having them around. And so you're forced to kind of like figure out a workaround. And that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
But
and how's it going?
I really miss having them in the drawer where you can just whip one out.
Yeah. I mean, we have like little paper bags that I use for like kids snacks. But the problem is like they don't, like if you put like some crackers or something greasy in there,
it goes stale.
They get stale definitely, like immediately. Crackers and all this stuff will leach through the paper. Fruit, just the whole bag dissolves in like an hour. So that doesn't really work.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried that.
You're like, just drop the whole thing into the compost bucket.
Exactly. So it's hard to know, because the thing is sometimes, yes, it doesn't, you can wrap something up in like I don't know. With like
have you used
snacks.
any of the beeswax wraps?
So years ago, I got some of the beeswax wraps, and then I stupidly, even though I knew you're not supposed to use warm water on them, I just couldn't not wash it with
How
warm
does it
water.
get clean?
Exactly. So then I did that, and then all the wax came off, and then I was outraged. And then,
see, I would use the not the hottest water.
Yeah.
So
Like
it would make
water.
them
Yeah.
soft. But I found that they got kind of grody after a couple of washes. I was like, this isn't really something.
When you think about wax, it's like totally, it's permeable. I don't know. I'm sure
And
it takes
stuff
on odors
sticks
and
to it.
things. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I did really like having that for bread, where you could just wrap it around the cut edge. Because, like, bread, you don't want to be in an airtight bag. So, but you don't want the like cut part of it to be exposed, because then it gets really stale. So I just take a square of the beeswax wrap and then wrap that around the cut edge of the loaf of bread, and that works really well.
Does it? Because is that what you use for your bread now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That, or I just keep it in like a paper bag.
Oh, okay. I have a bread box that I found on someone's stoop, and I have to say it's great.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just like one of the ones with the rolling.
It's not
lid,
that kind,
rolling.
unfortunately. Like the oak. Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, it's like it's like
garage door.
Yeah, exactly. This is like a coated metal thing with like a wooden top. But it's great. And it fits, like a loaf and a half of bread. It's pretty handy.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. If you eat a lot of bread, that's a super handy thing to have.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I guess the beeswax thing would have been, I'm sure I would have asked you, the beeswax thing would have been a good solution. But then do you put it like in a bag or something?
No, I would just keep it on. I mean, I love to have food like that. I try to keep visible so that I'm reminded to eat it or snack on it and stuff. So it's like out on the counter or in a big bowl with on the top of the apples or something.
Okay.
But sorry, not to go back to Ziploc again.
No.
Ziploc adjacent is, do you find sometimes like the method of food storage gives me agita?
Oh.
And I find that Ziploc bags or like any type of like flimsy type of plastic food wrap, when it doesn't like create a container that can be like stacked or stand up straight or like easily sort of slot into its spot in the cupboard or in the fridge, it drives me nuts. Like,
I hear you.
Like the spring roll wrappers that we were talking about a few episodes ago, like how to fit them into my cupboard is something that actually
keeps you up at night.
It doesn't keep me up at night, but every time I like see them there, I'm like, oh, it's like it wants to tip over and be flat,
or
and
like
then
roll
it's like,
off your,
or roll off, or like, and then it's one of those types of plastic packaging where you have to like cut open the edge, and then what is the best way to reseal something like that? I feel like plastic wrap or a Ziploc bag is really the only option.
See, I think in that case, mine are in a Ziploc bag, and it's just because it's literally like, what else do you do with those?
What else do you do?
Yeah. Sometimes only a Ziploc bag will do, but it's true that, that's one thing about those glass containers, or that is that they stack so well and that they look neat. And like in the fridge, I'm with you. If there's like a little cup of something that I've put saran wrap over and stuck it in the fridge, it makes me crazy. It's just like this thing that I'm just like really trying to pawn off on anybody who walks past the fridge. I'm like, do you want half a cup of smoothie? It's right here. Like, can we get rid of this thing? But
because it takes up so much more space than it should. I recently did like a little bit of an IKEA shop with an eye for like kitchen organization, and I think I saw something online where it's, an organizing expert recommended getting like bins, like small bins that can fit in your cupboard, but you like group like items. So I took like, I didn't do this with the spring roll wrappers, though I should. Just combine that with like the nori, with the like tubs of sesame seeds, with some of these like dry things, and like get them all in one thing, so that then you reach into the cupboard, you pull out the bin, and then just grab what you need, but it all kind of stays in one place.
Interesting.
And I did do that with a bunch of spices that like I have a spice drawer for my go-to spices that I use frequently, but there's a bunch of them that I have that I like rarely cook with, but I want to hold on to. So I just put them all in a bin and then slid it into a top shelf in the cupboard.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's so great because it's like so easy just to take everything out.
Yes.
And then I don't have a bunch of little bottles rattling around every time I get into the cupboard.
Yes. I do that with my like dried chilies, whereas like
Yeah.
in like one big plastic container, I just put all the plastic bags of the different kinds and then put a lid on it.
Yeah, I do the
and
same
forget
thing.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting. I haven't tried that, and maybe I should, because my pantry is like very deep, and it just, there's stuff back there that you just can't access. It makes everyone crazy if you're trying to find something and everything tumbles out. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's so much easier to pull out one bin and then like set it on the counter and rifle through it than it is to be like hunched over
Yeah.
in the pantry
With a
trying to
flashlight,
sort
in
through
my
stuff.
case.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed I've noticed some people online that have those bins actually in their refrigerators, and that for me feels like a step too far.
I have seen that too, and I feel like that's for like photo purposes only.
Yeah. I don't wash my produce right away. Do you?
No.
Yeah.
I do when I'm like being my best self.
Oh,
but-
really? I am
Like-
always worried that it's going to like degrade it a little bit. Like some of those things, I feel like sometimes keeping
well-
them dry is better than getting them
That's
wet.
probably
I don't
true.
know.
I find that like for greens, if I can wash them all at once, I'm more likely to use
Well,
them.
that's for sure. That is for sure.
And then cucumbers I wash
Oh, really?
and store in a container because
In a
do you get like the
container?
Persian
Oh, yeah.
cucumbers? Well, do you find that they get really slimy
Yeah.
quickly?
Yeah, I do.
Like they turn into weird little
Yeah.
really
They're
gross, like
terrible.
mucusy blobs.
Nothing worse than
And
reaching
so-
in and yeah.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere that if you just take them out of that, whatever the styrofoam tray
Yeah.
and the plastic wrap, take them out, wash them, and then store them with like a paper towel in some type of airtight container, they'll keep for much longer.
I
And
bet.
I've totally found that to be true.
Really? Okay. Maybe I'll do that, because we do go through a ton of cucumbers in this house. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. I try not to like use those bags when I go to the veggie store. Like I just buy them without bags and then just throw them in my veggie drawer at home. But I don't do anything beyond that.
Does your veggie drawer become kind of dirty?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And I have to wipe it out once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, it does get kind of dirty in there. Huh.
Do you do that with herbs as well?
I do that with herbs. Well, herbs sometimes I do put in a bag, and then they get really disgusting. I know there's all these different ways that one should be storing one's herbs. It just feels like a big drag. I don't know.
I know.
Oh, I did want to mention glass jars, because I know glass jars do
I love
seem.
glass jars.
I do too. And even though they're round, they do the job well enough in my.
They seal well.
Yeah, they seal really well. You can get them. They're really huge. I do find, again, sort of in my adult life, the idea of like decanting some rice into a giant glass container is deeply satisfying. And having them all sort of together, brown rice, basmati rice, whatever, oatmeal, all in this section is great.
It is. It's very satisfying to like see that I mean, all this, I feel like what this does, like getting your food storage under control, it makes like cooking more pleasurable.
Yes.
Like seeing your food stored properly makes you more excited to eat it and to play with it.
Oh,
and
for sure.
cook it.
For sure. I know I've mentioned Laura Ingalls Wilder on this podcast before, but in the like last Laura Ingalls Wilder of the series, when she gets married and she and I think his name is Almanzo like move out to like their homestead, he builds her this kitchen, and it's like, it feels deeply romantic to me. He builds her this kitchen, and he builds her all these like different drawers for like one for oatmeal, one for sugar, one for flour.
Oh, that's
and I was like,
amazing.
That's amazing. It was like I think it was like an early sort of romance standard that was set up where like, find a partner who will appreciate your kitchen organizational needs.
Yes. Going to give you a sugar drawer.
Exactly.
I will say with the glass jars, I recently, because I bought a bunch of Weck jars years ago,
Yeah.
just because I liked how they looked.
They do
and they
look
stack. Those are glass jars that actually stack
Yeah, they
very
really
well
do.
in the cupboard.
They really do.
But I got I don't know if it's the traditional type of lid, but it's like the ring, the rubber ring, and
yeah.
then you have the clamps. And I love the way it looks, but functionally for something that you're like I put my like coconut sugar in that and my chia seeds and stuff, and it's like I make a smoothie or I cook with this stuff regularly, and like pulling the little clasp too much.
Yeah.
And I found that you can get little plastic lids for the wet jars that just pop on and off. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I ordered some of them, and it's a total game changer. You can do the same thing with mason jars.
Yes, I've done that with mason jars, and I agree, because it's like the lids used to get all rusty, and we'd use them for like pickles or whatever, and they got all funky. But yeah, the plastic ones are great for that. But I didn't know WEC ones have them too. That makes sense.
They do. And they just pop on and off. They aren't, I actually have some right here with some preserved lemons I'm making. They aren't as airtight, I will say, for liquids. But because it's not a screw top, it's but I actually found that to be true even for the original lid contraption. So I don't think it's necessarily like it's a worse product. Yeah.
The bon meme, is that how you say it?
Oh, those jars.
Those
jars.
I love those.
They're the best.
Yeah. The only problem is they really don't hold. Like if you turn them upside down, everything will just pour out, even with the lid on. I don't know if you've noticed
really?
that. I always make salad dressing in that because it's so cute. And then I think that's led to my...
shaking it up.
Yeah, to my non-emulsification as time goes on, because when you shake it, salad dressing just gets all over you. So then I don't really shake it very well, and then that problem. But I can't stop myself because they're so cute. Maybe it's that I've used them so much that they've become not airtight. I don't know. Mine never do it. I have an extra tall one that I think I got at like Costco.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they are the ultimate like smoothie remainder jar. Because again, it's so pretty and it's tall and it has a lid. But again, you can't shake it. I've tried. And then I get green smoothie all over myself every time. I'm like, I'll do it really carefully and slowly, and then it's still. But I can't give it up. I love that jar.
Part of me wants to just continue and make this our longest
episode
ever.
I know.
But now I feel compelled to ask you what's the plan for dinner tonight?
I should have thought about this before. I literally don't have a plan for dinner. There's nothing really in the house. Tom's out tonight. So yeah, good question. We ate all the leftovers yesterday, so the cupboard's sort of bare. Quesadillas.
Maybe you'll have to consult our mildly desperate dinners
episode.
Yeah,
that's true, actually. That's true. Maybe I'll make some caramelized tuna.
Oh, there you go.
Because I have been really thinking about doing it, and then I haven't. So if I make like a bowl, like some rice and some caramelized tuna, some cukes.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Put an egg on it. You know what I made just yesterday? Have you done those like Korean? I don't think it's even exclusively Korean, but like the soy sauce marinated boiled eggs.
Oh, I have never made those, but they sound amazing.
God, so good.
Really?
So good.
Okay.
And on rice with that tuna would be so good too.
I have some hard-boiled eggs in the fridge, actually, or sort of jammy eggs, I guess. Maybe I'll do that this morning and then get it.
Yeah, it's basically like equal parts soy sauce and water, and then whatever, throw a little sweetener in there, ginger, garlic stuff, some sesame seeds, sesame oil.
Yeah.
Mix it up and just let it sit for like up to 48 hours.
Okay. I might try that and see, because I bet that could be sort of the new sushi bowl experience.
Yeah.
The kids would get into.
Yeah, and like a little avocado too.
Yeah.
I know avocado's been so good lately.
And
I don't
so
know
cheap.
What's up with it?
I don't know what's going on. I
know, there must be a glut.
I know. Henry had a dream last night about like guac world, and he came into bed this morning and he was like, let me tell you about my dream. I went to Guac World. And I was like, is this like a world of guacamole? He was like, yes, it was so great.
That sounds like heaven.
It does.
You just had a religious dream.
Exactly. What are you making for dinner?
I'm going to be traveling. I'm flying to Cleveland this evening to see my friend Megan, who made a short film that's in the Cleveland Film Festival. And so I'm going to go see that. I don't really know what the dinner plan is. I think we're eating something out, but I'm excited for that.
Oh, that'll be so fun. And just the two of you guys?
Yeah, Vincent was going to come, but he has to stay here.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be the two of us, which is great. Megan and I have been friends for something like 25 years now.
Gosh,
so it's
amazing.
It'll be and she has a daughter and her husband's home, and so it'll be like a fun little
just the two
friend
of you
hang.
guys.
Okay, well, close out part 1 of food storage.
Yeah, exactly. To be continued.
To be continued. Okay.
Cool. Okay, well, travel safe.
Thanks. Enjoy your dinner. Have fun tonight.
Okay, bye.
Bye.